Oh, man, bruh. Ugh. Gotta wear my Decepticons hat tonight, man. Gonna feel like Negan at the beginning of season 7, where everybody wanted his fucking balls on a platter after he killed Glenn and Abraham in episode 1. Oh, man. Where do I even begin? I think a lot of people are going to be looking forward to this review tonight, man. What's JD going to say? What stupidity is this clown from New York going to have to say? WWE made history tonight, folks. I think the only history tonight that I actually give a shit about is the fact that I might hit 100,000 subscribers tonight with this review. Now, seriously, folks, where was the history tonight? The fact that WWE was at the Nassau Coliseum on Long Island? The fact that WWE was apparently in front of a sold-out crowd? Yeah, real sold out when you had most of the arena blacked out. I don't know if I was watching a wrestling event or I was fucking attending a funeral. The entire arena was blacked out, which only means to me that WWE did not sell out Evolution. In fact, I had people that were there telling me that the commentators, where they were sitting behind them, the upper deck and the upper level, were completely tarped off. But you didn't see that on live television. Of course not. Of course not. WWE Evolution didn't sell out. They were selling tickets on StubHub for $6.25. I could take a trip down to Atlantic City and visit your local Wawa and get a delicious meatball sandwich for that price. In fact, I probably would have enjoyed that a lot more than watching this pay-per-view. Shout out to my Wawa people, bruh. Where was the history tonight, folks? Where was the history tonight? I don't know, man, but all I can tell you is the end result is another WWE pay-per-view that will be archived on the network that I will probably never go back and watch. One and done for WWE Evolution. The women's evolution or revolution, the women's revolution in WWE, man, it's a fucking joke. It really is. And I don't really care who I trigger with comments like that. I don't care if I make people salty. You know, when I say something and it angers you so much to a point where you attack me on social media for my opinion on professional wrestling, that only means one thing, that A, I speak the truth, and B, you don't like hearing the truth, and it angers you. Because nobody else in your timeline is speaking the way that I am. And that bothers you. You can't accept the fact that what you're watching is complete horseshit. This was not a history-making night. This was not an epic night for women's wrestling. As far as I'm concerned, this was just a generic WWE fucking house show with low-budget production and an arena that was blacked out to not a sellout crowd. I don't feel sorry for anybody that sat in that arena tonight. I don't. A, I would have never made the trip to Long Island. B, I am not attending a fucking show of this nature. No build, no storyline, no care. WWE management. It was reported over the weekend that WWE management didn't even care about this show. They deemed it unimportant. And you could see that with the build on SmackDown and Monday Night Raw. They had 2 weeks to go, and they booked Nikki Bella and Ronda Rousey. They had a total of 8 weeks for this entire pay-per-view. The build didn't begin till week 5. Need I say more? WWE, I mentioned on part 2 of the podcast this weekend, off the script. If you guys want to go back, it's in the annotation in the top right corner. I mentioned on the podcast that WWE didn't want to do this show. WWE had to do this show. They had to do this show for 2 reasons. One, WWE went to Saudi Arabia in April for the Greatest Royal Rumble. WWE's going back on Friday for Crown Jewel. Do you think it's a coincidence that WWE put this show on 5 days before they went to Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia again? So they had to do this show. They had to do this show because it makes them look good in the public eye while they brag all fucking night, while I vomited in the fucking corner, bragged all night about equality in women's wrestling. Blow me. Blow me. Once is enough. Twice is okay. 16 fucking times during the event is a little overkill. I don't care what your feelings are on women's wrestling. Get your point across in one big segment and end the fucking shit. The entire show was built around the premise of, let's take a break. Okay, the match is over. Let's go back and do more pandering to the women's evolution. Or the lack thereof, in my eyes. Ridiculous. The WWE does not care about women's wrestling. And the one thing that I seen on social media all day is ass-kicking, pandering, fakeness. And I'm going to call people out for their bullshit. You know? I don't hear one negative thing from guys like Ryan Satin or anybody in that umbrella. I really don't. Everything is great to them. Everything is a can't miss. Everything is historic to guys like that. There's not 1 ounce of negativity that comes from shows like that at all. Why? Like, who are you trying to impress? Who are you trying to get good with? Or get in good with? What the fuck are you watching for the last 10 months? You must be fucking blind as far as I'm concerned, because what I'm watching is not an evolution of women's wrestling. It's not an evolution of women's wrestling at all. I quoted on Twitter right before the show. My final thoughts on Evolution before the pre-show. I see a lot of pandering, a lot of fakeness, and a lot of people sticking up for this garbage just for the sake of sticking up for it. The women's revolution was, and what made it special was abandoned in every aspect, and this pay-per-view is the end result. And that's God-honest truth right there. Sasha Banks and Bayley, 2 women that I repeatedly mention in this, were given the shaft. They were given the short end of the stick. Their match in Brooklyn 4 years ago is nothing but a fucking footnote in the annals of WWE history. Not to be celebrated. It's not celebrated. It's not looked upon as a stepping stone for a revolution. It's not the blueprint for what women's wrestling should be, because if it was, then every match on this show would have been up to that level. It wasn't. It wasn't. The only matches that were up to that level were the 2 NXT matches and Charlotte and Becky, and that was about it. It's nothing but a fucking afterthought in this pandering to the evolution at all. Sasha and Bayley actually set the way for Ronda to come in and sabotage the whole division. Now they're making Ronda look good, and Ronda's the face of the WWE Women's Revolution. Why is that? Why is that? Are we paying respect to those who started it, or are we just going with the mainstream? Bullshit. Are we paying homage to those who started this entire thing, or are we going with the divas and reality TV superstars? Bullshit. WWE doesn't give a fuck about women's wrestling, and that's the God's honest truth. Absolutely zero effort, no passion, and a backwards mentality by pushing divas and hyping legends is not what Sasha and Bayley's match was supposed to be the product of. This show was a slap in the face, and if you're one of these fucking snowflakes who sees nothing wrong in this, you and your audience / position in this community is a fucking joke. You'll see the difference tonight. And like I mentioned, NXT outclassed everybody on this show. I hope this show bombs, and then they'll learn. Hashtag WWE Evolution. As far as WWE caring about this show looked like a NXT house show production. WWE didn't add all the usual bells and whistles to a regular pay-per-view like they would have done for this show. WWE blacked out the entire crowd. This show was not a sellout. People were selling fucking tickets for $6.25 fucking cents on StubHub just to get rid of them. Just to fill the seats. Because people anticipated this being a big event, and WWE said, fuck it, it's not a big event, we really don't care. We're going to give all our time and effort and money and attention to the Saudis for Crown Jewel. So people had a bunch of leftover tickets, and it showed tonight. WWE tonight gave you a show. It might have been decent at parts. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it was a fucking blowaway show. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it was one of the best fucking shows of the year, because then I'd be lying to you. Were there aspects of this show that I actually really fucking enjoyed? Absolutely. Were there parts of this show that I absolutely fucking hated? Absolutely. But was it historic? No. Was it epic? No. And in the end, is it a show that you're going to go back and watch again and relive history? No. Now, I go back and relive history. Daniel Bryan, WrestleMania 30. I went back and watched that a handful of fucking times. I even went back and watched Seth Rollins cash in with that great Roman Reigns Brock Lesnar match at WrestleMania 31. A main event that I absolutely fucking loved. I went back and watched that over and over and over again. Sami Zayn and Shinsuke Nakamura and his debut in NXT. Went back and watched that over a dozen fucking times. HBK and Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 25. That is history. This is not history. I'm sorry. This was just something WWE had to do, had to get out of the way, and couldn't wait to get it over with. They don't give a fuck about women's wrestling. Just watch Monday Night Raw every fucking week. If you think they care about women's wrestling by watching Monday Night Raw, you're a fucking fool. They don't care. You can't push 2 or 3 women and then call it a revolution. You got about 47 other fucking women on the roster, and nobody gets the spotlight. Why? Because they ain't Ronda. They ain't on Total Divas. Sasha and Bayley, fuck them. They got it started. We don't need you anymore. WWE Evolution delivered in some aspects, but it was overall a very forgettable show. Show took place at Nassau Coliseum. Like I said, the set was a little different from what we usually see with these WWE pay-per-views. There was no big ramp. It was really like a house show. It was really like a house show setup. They had the big screen. They had 2 little screens. No ramp. Just a little aisleway. And the entire arena was blacked out. The entire arena was just like you would see, for an arena that wasn't sold out, because WWE wanted to tell you it was sold out, but in reality it was not sold out. So WWE had the entire arena blacked out for most of the show. They went really light on setting things up. There was no LED boards. There were just regular standard steel posts, regular ring apron. There was no big production here. WWE didn't even use the regular barricades that you see for their normal pay-per-views. They went old school with the regular steel barricades covered in black cloth, which was actually nice and something that I actually prefer, because that's what you see in NXT. So I actually enjoyed that. I have no issue with that whatsoever. Commentary team was Michael Cole, Beth Phoenix, and Renee Young. Now, I actually think they did a better job here than they did on the Mae Young Classic. And I'm going to make a statement here about Beth Phoenix and Renee Young. I love Renee Young. I have no issue with Renee Young, but I actually think Beth Phoenix is better than Renee Young at what she does. I actually would like to see Beth Phoenix on Monday Night Raw instead of Renee Young. That's just my honest opinion. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I like Beth's delivery, and I like Beth's, mindset when she's behind the booth with Michael Cole giving color. I think Renee comes off a little amateurish. And I think Beth is a little bit more knowledgeable, being that she was a professional wrestler. So she knows a lot more, and she knows a little bit more of psychology compared to Renee Young. So that's why I'm going with Beth Phoenix. You guys might think differently, but that's my opinion. Overall, it's still a work in progress with those 3. Maybe they'll get better over time. Maybe Renee Young will be on the level of a Beth Phoenix at some point. But at this point, I think Renee Young is behind the 8 ball when it comes to color commentary on Monday Night Raw, and for the work that she's done with Michael Cole and the Mae Young Classic. So the show started off, man, all this pandering and all this equality talk and how important this is to you and all this other shit. Like I mentioned, man, one and done, please. I didn't need to hear the same repetitive garbage over and over and over and over again every single fucking match. I really didn't. Then I got to hear Stephanie McMahon chime in about how important the Evolution is to her. Yeah, Stephanie McMahon, according to Stephanie McMahon, her and Ronda Rousey started the women's Evolution. You know? Give me a break. Give me a break. Stephanie would be a great spokesman, but when she's at the forefront of everything and she comes off in a way as if she started everything because of a fucking hashtag that in reality AJ Lee started, it's kind of ridiculous. I just put my fingers in my ears and just try and silence her. Mute her. I can't stand it. Show started off with Trish Stratus and Lita versus Alicia Fox and Mickie James. Actually, before that, before I even get into the matches, man, it started off like an NXT show. Looked like an NXT show, and it started off like an NXT show, man, which made me actually think that Triple H might have been in charge tonight, and Vince McMahon wasn't even there. We got Nita Strauss and Lizzie Hale starting the Evolution theme during the beginning of the show. So Nita Strauss was in the ring playing lead guitar, and Lizzie Hale was on guitar singing in the aisleway with the full band backing her on the stage. And Nita Strauss is actually a very good guitar player, man. If you guys want to go Spotify her, she got a new album coming out called, I think, Controlled Chaos, I believe is the name of it. Really, really good stuff. It's an instrumental album. You know, it's more in line with like heavy metal / thrash, and she's the lead guitarist. She's very talented. For a female guitar player, she's really fucking good. So I urge you guys to go listen to that if you're into that type of thing. So it started off like an NXT TakeOver show, really. I didn't really expect that, so I was thinking maybe Triple H is in charge. Maybe they're actually booking this thing like an NXT TakeOver show. So you see what happens. First match started off Triple H. Trish Stratus and Lita versus Alicia Fox and Mickie James. Now, Alicia Fox was filling in for Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss supposedly got injured over the past weekend, and she was out with a concussion. And WWE did not clear her for this match. Now, I don't have any other status update on Alexa Bliss. All I know is that we had Liv Morgan out with those devastating fucking kicks that Brie botched, and she came back for the pay-per-view in Australia. Super Showdown. So she was cleared within the week. Alexa Bliss was not cleared during the week. I don't know what happened. I don't know how it happened. But Alexa Bliss was out because of WWE's concussion protocol. Now, during the match, my eyebrows raised a little bit, being that Alexa Bliss was out with concussion. I don't know what happened, but as the match went on, we seen Alexa Bliss get involved, and I'll get there when we get there. We had Trish Stratus and Lita, man. They looked good for what they were. I wasn't blown away by it by any means. You know, they worked well together. They were, you know, doing what they usually do. Tag team moves, double team moves. They're best friends. Why wouldn't they work well together? But you can see that as the match went on, these women were not prepared. These women didn't plan for this match whatsoever. This was a basic house show match. This was a basic house show match. With Alicia Fox being in there, which, in my eyes, Alicia Fox didn't belong in that match. Alicia Fox didn't deserve to be in that match. Alicia Fox has done nothing to warrant a spot like that with Mickie, Lita, and Trish Stratus. And she was the only logical replacement because, coincidentally, she was rubbing shoulders with Alexa Bliss during this entire storyline. And even before Evolution was announced. So that's the only reason why she got the nod in this match. So, Fox tags in for a double team on Lita. Fox hit a Northern Light suplex for a 2 count. Fox showed frustration, and she kept Lita on the ground. Bliss is on the outside looking on. Lita fights free and nails an inverted DDT. So Trish and Mickie tag in at the same time. Trish unloads with strikes and has a headlock takedown. Trish plants Mickie for a 2 count. Trish then big knife edge chops. Mickie kicks Trish and rolls her up for a 2 count. Mickie kicks Trish and then goes for a DDT, but it's blocked. Trish hits Stratusfaction for the pin on Mickie, but Fox breaks it up. Now, of course, there wouldn't be a women's match with Alicia Fox featured if there wasn't a fucking botch. And this was a 3 count because Alicia Fox failed to make her cue on time. And the referee had to stall his count because Alicia Fox was about a full second late on breaking up this pinfall. So Lita takes out Fox. This is the same mistake she makes time and time and time again. This is like the third time this year that I've seen her make the same fucking mistake. Yes, she's a 10-year veteran. Yet she's getting a spot like this in the opening match with Trish, Lita, and Mickie James. I mean, if you're a 10-year veteran, why are you making the same fucking mistake every single fucking time? It's not like she made a different mistake. It's timing. And if she can't get the timing right, why am I supposed to take her seriously in a match like this? So Lita takes out Fox with a twist of fate. Lita goes to the top, hits her moonsault on Fox and Mickie at the same time. Mickie gets up. Trish drops her with the chick kick and gets the pin. Now, in this match, Bliss actually got involved, and I don't know who was on the top rope. I think it might have been Trish Stratus, went to the top rope. So, Alexa Bliss gets involved and gets in the ring and has a physical portion of the match. I believe she knocked Trish Stratus off the top rope. She comes in behind the referee's back, knocks Trish off the top rope, and then boom. Or it might have been Lita. I think Trish got the hot tag. Either one. I forgot who it was. I didn't put it in my notes. So, Alexa Bliss comes in and has that physical portion of the match and then slips right out behind the referee's back. It made me wonder, and it pissed me off to a point because, if this was anybody else, A, they wouldn't be at Evolution. B, they wouldn't even be at ringside, having a physical segment in the match. But Alexa Bliss is going through WWE concussion protocol, and she's getting in the ring, and she's pushing someone off the top rope and then sliding out and going right back to her position on the outside as, I guess, backup for Alicia Fox and Mickie James. Why is that? If this was anybody else, like I mentioned, they wouldn't have been there, and they wouldn't have been at ringside. But I guess WWE has to pander to their favorite blonde in WWE. Couldn't have Alexa Bliss miss Evolution. My God, the horrors that people would have had when they went home. Guarantee you probably wouldn't even notice if she wasn't there. That's ridiculous. Not only ridiculous, it's unfair. Because if that was anybody else, they wouldn't get the same treatment as Alexa Bliss, which sucks. WWE's pretty much telling you in that instance, Alexa's here and everybody else is here. Fuck out of here, man. Open your eyes. Trish Stratus and Lita win in a very passable, not memorable tag team match. And this match, believe it or not, I actually stuck up for Alexa Bliss. And was like, well, I'd rather see Alexa in there than Foxy. But at this rate, I think the match would have ended up being the same thing. And it would not have been better with Alexa Bliss in there, honestly. That's just my take on it. Trish and Lita win in a very forgettable house show-like tag team match. Trish and Lita look great. Apparently WWE's going to continue using them. Maybe we get women's tag team champions out of it, and they are the inaugural tag team champions. And they set up the tag team championships for a team of the future, hopefully. If that's where WWE's going with that. I don't know. Only time will tell. 20-woman battle royal. This is where things really, really got fucking aggravating for me. This was a fun battle royal. Fun. Wasn't good. It was fun. It was enjoyable to watch. I had a jovial time. I'm not going to sit here and say it was the greatest battle royal I've ever seen. We've seen this shit at WrestleMania. So, there's no difference between what we've seen at WrestleMania and what we've seen here. I do like, and believe it or not, I'm going to say something positive here. WWE actually gave all 20 women their own introductions. Believe it or not, I mentioned this on the podcast on Saturday. I thought WWE was going to go with the typical generic way that they do battle royals. They'll play some generic fucking theme. They'll probably play the theme song, Salute, which is now ingrained in everybody's fucking skulls. Salute, over the PA system, and have all the 20 women come down the aisle and all, just stand in the ring together. It was WWE who came up with the idea, you know what, maybe we should give a spotlight to all the women in this battle royal. And I was like, holy shit. Everybody got their own introduction. Everybody came out to their own theme music. Everybody got their own spotlight. So, one positive. I'm like, okay, we're getting started on the right foot here. Then the Iconics come out. And they start taking shots at the stars of the past in the ring. So, I knew right out of the gate that they were handed microphones and they were going to start trash talking. So, in typical WWE protocol here, the ones who are trash talking and are the last ones to enter, when they enter the ring, they'll be the first ones eliminated. And what happened? Billie Kay and Peyton Royce were eliminated instantly in seconds from this battle royal. So, some evolution for the Iconics. In and out. I guess they went to some fancy seafood restaurant off Long Island and had a nice evening after that. Their work was quick. So the bell rings, everybody went after the Iconics. They were quickly eliminated by all the veterans. And then we had a cool moment in the match. All the veterans and all the present stars were battling it out. It was like past versus, present. So it was pretty cool to see. It was like what we seen in the Men's Royal Rumble for 2018. We had the past and the present at the end of the Royal Rumble. It was 4-on-4, right? Or 3-on-3, whatever it was. So Alundra is working on Tamina. And then Mandy and DeVille eliminate Molly Holly first. Molly Holly actually came down and did, Crash Holly's walk, which was, paying homage to Crash Holly. DeVille and Rose double team. Kelly was in this thing. My eyes. Kelly's eliminated. Dana and Ivory go at it. Tori fights off DeVille. Tori tries to dump DeVille, but Rose makes the save. Maria Kanellis was in this thing, and Zelina Vega was in this thing as well. They started going at it. DeVille and Rose eliminate Tori Wilson, so Tori Wilson was in and out, even though WWE kind of hyped her up in the Battle Royal. Tori Wilson's going to be in the Battle Royal. She didn't last all but 2 minutes. Rose then shoves DeVille off the apron and eliminates her own partner. So, I don't know what sense that makes. If WWE is actually going to have women's tag team championships, why not have Rose and DeVille as a team? So obviously everybody's talking now, is this going to break up Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville? Because if they were really partners, they wouldn't have done that with one another. It really makes no sense. It's actually stupid if you ask me. Why not have a 2-on-1 and work together to try and eliminate everybody else? And then if you come down to the end and you're still there, then you could go at it. But Mandy Rose actually eliminated her partner. So we don't know if they're going to be broken up or if they're going to remain as a tag team. Alundra Blaze clotheslines Asuka and Naomi at the same time. Nia Jax is in this thing. She scoops Alundra Blaze and dumps her over the top rope to eliminate Alundra Blaze. She looked awful. Alundra Blaze looked fucking old. There's no reason why you couldn't have given a spot that you gave to Alundra Blaze to a fucking NXT talent. By the way, why weren't there any NXT talents in this Battle Royal? You want to fill it with fucking past legends, quote unquote. I don't consider Kelly or Tori Wilson a legend. But why didn't you fill this thing with NXT stars? I don't understand that. We are talking about an evolution of women's wrestling, right? I don't want to see fucking Tori Wilson or Alundra Blaze. I would like to see Candice LeRae or Bianca Belair or Lacey Evans or somebody from NXT. Nikki Cross. Come on now. These are just some of the little things that bothered the shit out of me. So, Maria actually looked very good in this thing, man. Maria looked in tip-top shape. She looks fucking fantastic, by the way. So, she went at it with Tamina, hits a Bronco Buster in the corner. Jax then scoops Maria and eliminates her. Vega with double knees on Tamina in the corner. Rose and Nia Jax go at it. Tamina then super kicks Vega. Tamina with a Samoan drop to Carmella, who had a 7-second dance break. And you know that Vince loves the 7-second dance break because, A, he was part of the 7-second dance break on SmackDown Live 1000, and the fact that we're still seeing it week in and week out, somebody in the back clearly loves it. So we're going to be seeing it a lot more as we move on with this just, face turn for Carmella that still hasn't really been brought to anybody's attention. No explanation for it. Just R-Truth just shows up out of nowhere and then, boom, Carmella's actually babyface. Nia Jax and Tamina then go at it in the middle of the ring, and I would be lying to you if I didn't get a little excited about this possibility of Tamina and Nia Jax as a tag team? I think they look fucking great together, man. And if there's a tag team title in WWE for the women, Nia Jax and Tamina better be a fucking tag team. That's all I'm saying right now. So they're facing off in the middle of the ring. Lana then approaches and starts yelling, no, 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 happy. She wanted everybody to be happy. Fuck being happy. Really. When are we ever happy here? Only sometimes. So Jax and Tamina drop everyone. And their attention is right back on one another. Lana again tries to keep the peace. I don't know why. You want to keep peace in a battle royal. It's just fucking stupid. And then she slaps Tamina, kicks Nia Jax. This does nothing but fucking anger them. And Lana gets thrown over the top rope by Tamina. She gets eliminated. So Jax then scoops Tamina. Asuka then unloads on Nia Jax. Naomi joins in. Because you know Asuka and Naomi are the team right now on SmackDown Live. So we get a big spot in the match, an 8-woman suplex attempt in the middle of the ring. And it pops big for the crowd. Carmella is the only one standing, but she stops for a dance break, like I said. Truth is in the crowd, front row, loves it. So Ivory approaches Carmella. This was actually a feel-good moment of the match. Ivory then approaches Carmella, and they start dancing together in the middle of the ring. Mandy then comes in to break it up. She tries to eliminate Ivory, but Carmella assists and Rose is eliminated. Michelle McCool. I'm going to say this about Michelle McCool, man. You know, I'm not a big fan, never was a big fan of Michelle McCool, but I do think that she is very, very underrated when it comes to her in-ring skill, man. I feel, and I was saying this to myself when I was watching the pay-per-view, if Michelle McCool actually came back for a mini run, a 6-month run, and you put her right into the thick of things on SmackDown Live, I honestly think she would fit seamlessly right into the women's division, man. She looks great, and I think she could really do some damage if she's on SmackDown Live or Monday Night Raw. So if I was WWE, I would explore the options of maybe bringing her back, man. Really. You know, Undertaker's going to be back from now till WrestleMania season. This is probably his last ride. You know, no pun intended, but I would bring back Michelle McCool, man. I think she could do some damage in the women's division. I really do. I think she looks fantastic. So, McCool and Carmella going at it. Ember Moon eliminates Dana Brooke. Thank you for coming, Dana. Back to catering you go. McCool knocks Moon out of the air with a big boot. Asuka then works over Jax in the corner with Naomi helping her. Moon eliminates Michelle McCool. They were going for, I don't know, you know, I never understood the back body drop deal over the top rope. You know, it's anybody in that position can see it coming. So she did it, and then Ember Moon eliminated Michelle McCool over the top rope as she stood on the apron. Asuka and Naomi then double team Tamina. Tamina eliminates Naomi as she charged in. Ivory slams Asuka in the face. Carmella kicks Jax, but Jax shoves her down. Moon drops Jax with a big DDT. Looked awful. Nia Jax took that DDT just miserably. Moon and Carmella botch. I forgot what it was, but it's in my notes. Botch a move. Carmella drops Moon in the corner. Carmella then moonsaults in and charges, but Moon sends her to the apron, eliminates Carmella, does Ember Moon. Now we got Nia Jax, Tamina Snuka, Ivory, Asuka, and Moon. Ivory was eliminated. Ivory was gone. So we're down to the final four. Asuka, Moon, Jax, and Snuka. So at this point, I'm saying to myself, Asuka's got to win this thing. It's either Asuka or Moon. Got to win this thing, right? Tamina's not going to get a fucking title shot. We've seen Nia Jax get a title shot. Nobody's interested in that whatsoever. So Asuka eliminated Ivory off the apron with a devastating hip attack. Asuka ran at her fucking full steam ahead like a fucking freight train. Asuka with a big knee to the face on Snuka, I believe. And Asuka misses a hip attack on Moon, I'm sorry. Asuka then misses a hip attack on Moon and kicks her in the face. Can I just say that the interaction between Asuka and Ember Moon was the best thing about this entire fucking Battle Royal? People were chanting NXT. NXT. You had a whole arena in Long Island at the Nassau Coliseum chanting NXT. I'm looking at this with a fucking smile on my face. This is the evolution right here. Asuka, Ember Moon. People wanted it. People wanted to see this. And I've been saying it for fucking months. I would love to see another match between Ember Moon and Asuka. Ember Moon was one of Asuka's best opponents. Ember Moon was Asuka's best match in NXT. So for the simple fact that they got this type of reaction tonight, that alone should be enough to warrant change in your Evolution. What we've seen between those two women tonight is the Evolution. I don't know why people are turning the other cheek when women like Asuka and Ember Moon get that type of reaction. I didn't hear anybody else on social media doing what I do mention how great the reaction was for those two women. No, but we want to talk about fucking Nia Jax and Tamina Snuka. So, Moon eliminates Asuka. At that point, I'm like, Ember Moon's got to win this thing. Ember Moon's got to win this thing. So Moon turns around with a super kick from Tamina. She catches it, rocks her. Tamina with a spinning side slam on Moon. Jax then grabs Tamina, but Tamina super kicks her. Moon then goes at it with Tamina as the fans are chanting for Ember Moon. Fans clearly behind Ember Moon. Clearly. Moon drop kicks Jax while she's down. Moon goes back and forth between Jax and Snuka. Moon goes to the top and hits the Eclipse on Tamina. Moon eliminates Tamina Snuka. Okay, now we're down to Nia Jax and Ember Moon. So, Ember Moon is on the apron to Let's Go Ember chants. And I fucking hate this spot in the Battle Royal when you got the David versus Goliath situation going on. Nia Jax is Goliath and Ember Moon is David. Okay, Ember Moon's on the apron. And she's trying to eliminate Nia Jax. She puts her leg over Nia Jax's neck. And instead of the force from Ember's weight kind of shifting Nia Jax over the top rope, Nia Jax clearly, to everybody, for everybody to see, just willingly puts her leg over the top rope as if she's trying to eliminate herself in this situation. I fucking hate that. Do you know how ridiculous that looks when you're watching a battle royal? Now, am I the only one to call this shit out? Or is everybody just fucking blind to the fact that they're watching stupidity right in front of them? Anyway, Zelina Vega, and this was a surprise to me. I didn't even know Vega was fucking eliminated, or if she was eliminated or not. She was just not there. I figured she was eliminated. So Vega ends up getting back in the ring. She was never eliminated. She pulled a Jerry the King Lawler underneath the ring. She comes in, and Vega turns to Nia Jax, and she just gets eliminated. She gets bench pressed over the fucking top rope. Nia Jax threw Zelina Vega on top of Tamina in such a way where Vega's knee smashed Tamina's face. I would be shocked if Tamina doesn't have a broken nose. That's what I seen there. So, Moon rocks Jax a few times, tries to get her over the top rope with some clotheslines, a drop kick. Nia Jax is holding on to the top rope. Moon charges in. Jax slams her to the mat with a spine buster. Jax then tosses Moon over the top rope for the win and a future title shot. This was miserable booking. A fun battle royal ruined by complete booking garbage. Can someone please tell me, number one, why Asuka and Ember Moon weren't the last two women in that battle royal? Why couldn't you book Tamina and Nia Jax eliminating each other? Why couldn't you book it that way? Couldn't give Asuka and Ember Moon the spotlight in the Battle Royal to go at it. Everybody chanted for it. Everybody wanted it. Did WWE give it to us? Of course not. Asuka and Ember Moon signify change in the women's evolution. Nia Jax winning the Battle Royal doesn't signify change. It's WWE fucking going, oh, here we go. We have Nia Jax. She's Samoan. She's related to Dwayne Johnson. Dwayne Johnson's mother's sitting front row. Roman Reigns just announced he has leukemia. He's going to be out. Let's do it for Roman Reigns. Let's do it for The Rock in hopes that he comes back for WrestleMania 35. Political fucking garbage is why Nia Jax won this Battle Royal. Bullshit. Complete fucking bullshit. How does this signify change in the Raw Women's Division? Are you out of your fucking mind? Who the fuck enjoyed the outcome of this Battle Royal? Who? Are you excited about Nia Jax versus Ronda Rousey again? I don't understand you. You gotta be out of your fucking mind mental if you think this is going to do any good for the Raw Women's Division. Asuka and Ember Moon should have been the last two fucking women in that battle royal. If Asuka was not to win it, then Ember Moon should have won it. Ember Moon could have went on. It's a future title shot. Future opportunity at a title shot, right? WWE didn't announce what title it was. Ember Moon could have won this thing. She could have either challenged Ronda Rousey, which would have been fresh, new, and exciting, and it would have made Ember look like a fucking stud by eliminating Tamina, Nia Jax, and Asuka. Even though she probably would have lost to Ronda, it would have been fresh. Or Asuka could have won it. She could have battled Becky Lynch, which is something that I would like to see. Or Ember Moon could have won it, and she could have challenged Becky Lynch on SmackDown Live, and she could have showed up on SmackDown Live, invigorating the product with some unpredictability. All you have to do is have Ember Moon show up on SmackDown Live and then conduct some type of trade to get someone else on Monday Night Raw to fill her spot. But no, WWE went the typical political bullshit, nonsensical fucking way by giving it to Nia Jax. Let me tell you something, people. If you're not smart enough to watch the product, then don't fucking watch me. Nia Jax won this battle royal for Roman Reigns, and Nia Jax won this match because The Rock's mother was sitting front row. Yet, we're going to get a fucking Nia Jax, Ronda Rousey 2. Asuka was ruined. Ember Moon was denied a huge spotlight on this fucking show. There's no change in sight. Meanwhile, you all think this is an evolution of women's wrestling. Fuck you. Complete garbage. That battle royal was ruined by the outcome of that booking decision. I can't wait for Nia Jax and Ronda Rousey. Said nobody. Fuck out of here. Mae Young Classic final. Toni Storm versus Io Shirai. Where do I even begin with this one? I mentioned on my preview and predictions on Saturday. I guarantee you, with the tournament that was beautifully done this year, the Mae Young Classic. If you guys have not watched the Mae Young Classic, you missed one hell of a fucking tournament, man. Toni Storm and Io Shirai. We're looking at two of the best women's wrestlers on the fucking face of this earth in the finals of the Mae Young Classic. I'm expecting this show to be decent at best, right? With this match being the one match that everybody is talking about at the end of the night. What do we get? Exactly what I was fearing at the end of the night. This match between Toni and Io, both of them had ball and chains on them. They were only given roughly about 9 minutes. 9 minutes. 9 minutes for a fucking Toni Storm versus Io Shirai match. This match should have been the best match of the entire night. This match should have been the best match of the entire tournament, and it was not. Now, hear me out. I am not taking away from anything of what the two women did. In a 9-minute match, they did everything humanly possible to make you say, well, this is a damn good fucking match. And they did. They fit as much as they could into the time that they were given beautifully. This was still a great match. But for this match to only be 9 minutes after what we've seen with Toni Storm and Meiko Satomura in the semifinals, I'm telling you right now, as a fan, I feel cheated. I feel cheated from the Mae Young Classic final. These women should have went 20 plus minutes easy. Easy. Yet we were only given 9 to 10 minutes of Toni Storm and Meiko Satomura. Why is that? The only thing that I could think of is, A, WWE doesn't care about NXT or what happens with women's wrestling down in the minor leagues. And B, they knew for a fucking fact that Toni Storm and Io Shirai could possibly steal the entire fucking show, steal Ronda's thunder, steal Nikki's thunder, steal Charlotte's thunder. So they kept them to 9 minutes in hopes of them not stealing the show, because you can't take the spotlight away from Charlotte. You can't take the spotlight away from Ronda Rousey. How would you make the main roster women look? Who knows a Toni Storm? Who knows an Io Shirai? Am I bullshitting you? Am I speaking a different language? Or do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? That is the God's honest truth right there. I feel fucking cheated by watching this match tonight. Not to say that it was a bad match. I loved it. I'm glad Toni Storm fucking won. She was my pick since the tournament was even announced this year. But the fact that she was only given 9 to 10 minutes with Io, there's no way you could feel anything but cheated after watching that match. And then when Toni Storm won, she didn't get any speech at the end. Triple H gave her roses and the Mae Young Classic trophy. She was crying. No words to the crowd. Why? The woman got all the time in the world to speak during the semifinals, and here she is in the finals telling you it's the most important thing of her fucking life, and you don't let the woman fucking speak? I don't understand that. It's like you go into a restaurant and you're there with a bad date, and you just can't wait to fucking pay the bill and get up and fucking leave, and the busboy's cleaning the fucking table for the next couple to come sit down, ushering them out. What am I watching here? Why is WWE so political in the shit that they do? This match should have blown the fucking roof off the place. And here we are feeling cheated about fucking 10 minutes. Man, when I tell you they fit everything that they possibly could into this match, man, the shit that they did is just great. Really. So, back and forth, I loved the pace of this match right from the get-go. It was very physical. These two are no strangers to one another, man. These two have battled up and down Japan. So, this was supposed to be Tegan Nox and probably Toni Storm in the finals. I believe Tegan Nox was supposed to win the tournament this year. But a bad backup plan is, this is not a bad backup plan with Io and Toni. WWE's got fucking money right here waiting to be printed. So I liked the momentum and the pace of this match early on. They shook hands. They knew each other, like I said. We had Io. Io is stomping on Storm. Starts to show off, man. I love Io's just cockiness. She knows she's fucking good. And I love Toni, the way she sells. She's just so believable, man. She's very, very easy on the eyes to look at, but, she sells so great, man. She's such a great babyface. And by the way, this was one of two instances tonight. Toni actually came out to her old Mae Young Classic theme of last year, which is actually the better theme song that she had of the two. So I love the theme song that she came out to tonight. It was her old theme, but WWE somehow used that tonight instead of the new one that they were using this year. Or maybe that's her real theme going forward. I hope it is, because it's the better of the two themes. So Shirai is grounding Storm with a submission. Shirai keeps Storm grounded, tries to make it to the rope. She finally does. Hold is broken. Storm manages to land a big suplex, turn it around. Shirai ends up drop-kicking Storm off the apron after she hesitated. Shirai runs the ring, jumps up to the top, and nails a huge moonsault in one fluid motion, man. Off the top to the floor. I can't tell you how great this looked. This probably was a thing of beauty if you were there sitting front row live. Shirai did a leapfrog over the top rope, jumped to the top rope, and in one fell swoop did an Asai moonsault to the outside. And that was a tough spot to do because they had little room to work with. And that was a dangerous spot with the barricade being so close to the ring. So, I don't know who's watching this match and thinking to themselves, man, these women fucking suck. This was a great fucking move, man. Now they're on the apron. I don't know what Io was trying to go for, but I know Toni was trying to go for a Storm Zero. She tried to go for her pump or her power bomb finishing move. Her sit-out power bomb. So, Storm then hits a German suplex on the apron. And she absolutely has the best German suplexes in the game right now, man. She German suplexed Io on the apron, and Io went right for her neck. So I thought she was legitimately hurt, man, because that looked fucking brutal. So they're back in the ring, more back and forth between the two. Shirai gets very close to after a springboard sunset flip. Shirai then with the Meteora in the corner. Shirai drags Storm over, walks over to do the moonsault. And Shirai goes to the top, but Storm gets the knees up. Storm hits a Storm Zero for the win. This was the second Storm Zero that Toni Storm did. She did one just to try and end it quick, and Shirai kicked out on a great near fall. She hit it a second time. I thought she was actually going to kick out again, but lo and behold, the match only went 10 minutes, barely. And Toni Storm won the Mae Young Classic final. She is your 2018 Mae Young Classic winner. This was a great match. I just feel cheated, and these women should have won another 10 to 12 minutes, easy, on a night that celebrated women's wrestling. Yet you want to give these two 10 fucking minutes. Come on, man. Seriously. The Riot Squad versus Sasha Banks, Natalya, and Bayley. Man, this match riled up everybody on social media. All I did was tweet out, this is a bathroom break. If you've been watching Monday Night Raw for the last 10 months of the year, you're going to see the same exact shit tonight. Man, did the fucking goons come out because they were all triggered by what poor little JD had to say on this night. I don't understand the mentality of people, man. You've seen this match. It is now November. Okay? 11 months of the same repetitive garbage on Monday Night Raw. And every concoction of combination between these 6 women on Monday Night Raw. And here you are, in the 11th month of the year, and you're still telling me that you care about this match. Either you are a complete fucking imbecile, or you are that fucking stupid that you have the worst fucking memory I have ever seen. You do realize that what we've seen is the same fucking shit that we've seen all year on Monday Night Raw. What is the difference between Raw and what we've seen and tonight? The fact that Natalya is now teaming with Sasha Banks and Bayley. Was it a bad match? I never said it was. I would love anybody to go back and watch my video on Twitter and hear me say this match was terrible. You won't. And you can't find me saying that match was terrible tonight. For what it was a good match. Sasha looked good. Ruby looked good. You know? What else do you want me to say about it? What does this match mean for you? Are you going to go back and watch this match tomorrow and brag about how great it was? Is this something that you're going to go back a couple of months from now and go back and watch on Evolution? Is this something that you're going to give a shit about when you raise your kids to be wrestling fans? Oh my God, honey, I got to show you this 6-woman tag from Evolution with Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Natalya versus the Riot Squad. Of course you're not. This was the same fucking shit that you've seen over and over and over again. By any means. Or by no means, rather. It wasn't a bad match. But what does it mean to you? What does it mean to the show? What does it mean to me? To me, it means nothing. To me, I did my laundry during this fucking match. Seriously. I had a better time cleaning my fucking bathroom rugs in the washing machine compared to watching this fucking match. What does it mean to you? Well, being that you're fucking mediocre in life, and you don't give a shit about what you're watching, or you don't give a shit about what WWE's feeding you, I guess you enjoyed the match. But what does it mean to you? It means nothing for you. It means nothing for me. It means nothing for these women. This is the best that WWE had to give these 6 women. I could sit here with my fucking eyes closed. You could blindfold me. And I could come up with a better fucking combination of matches for these women than what we were given tonight. Yet everybody wants to brag, oh, this is the greatest 6-woman tag I've ever fucking seen. Really now? Really now? I don't give a fuck if this is the best tag team match in the history of tag team matches. Who cares? Get over yourself. It's repetitive. And it's not historic. I'd love for someone to tell me what was historic about this match. Nothing. So we got the typical bullshit on the outside. Logan puts Banks on her shoulders. Liv goes to the top. Big double team doomsday device. Ooh. Logan is legal. Double teaming Natalya. Or double teaming, I guess, Sasha. And Natalya breaks up the pin on Banks. Logan sends Natalya out. Keeps control on Sasha. Liv tags in for another double team on Banks with Logan. Ruby tags in, goes to the top, but Bayley comes in and lays on top of Banks to protect Sasha. Ruby then leaps off the top anyway and delivers a great senton splash. I love the fucking, I don't give a fuck. You want to fucking protect your best friend? I'm going to fucking jump off the top rope anyway. You're going to stop me from doing what I'm doing. Senton to Bayley with Sasha underneath, man. I loved it. Ruby covers Banks, but Banks still kicks out. Riot Squad can't believe it. Oh my God. Oh my God. Sasha's still in the match. So Liv tags in, misses a kick to Banks. Ruby tags back in. Logan tries to slam Ruby on Banks, but Banks moves. Natalya comes in and unloads on Logan. Ruby tags in. Natalya doesn't see it. So Natalya slams Logan, but comes in on Ruby. And comes in on Ruby. Natalya rocks her, slams her on top of Logan. So Natalya comes in for a double sharpshooter on Logan and Riot. Like, I haven't seen that fucking move done before. Or that spot done before. Not really, enticing to the viewer when you see it time and time and time again. So she gets it locked in, but Liv breaks it up as she is the legal man, or the legal woman in this case, rather. Liv with a 2 count on Natalya. Liv with a big stomp to the back of Natalya's head in the corner. Liv then charges, but Natalya lifts her for a powerbomb. Bayley follows with a top rope elbow. So this is where the symbolism comes into play. So Bayley comes off the top rope with the Macho Man elbow. And then Sasha comes off the top rope, paying homage to Eddie Guerrero with the frog splash on Liv Morgan for the win. Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Natalya win a decent 6-woman tag. In the end, what does it mean to anybody? This was a tag team match with a historic hashtag on top of it, and nothing about it was historic. It was the same shit that we've seen every single week, every single month on Monday Night Raw. I would love for someone to tell me why I should be excited about this match. Can't. And you won't, because there is no reason. NXT Women's Title match, man. Shayna Baszler versus Kairi Sane. This was, in my honest opinion, and this is not NXT bias, in my honest opinion, the best match of the entire night. Because I just love the chemistry between Shayna Baszler and Kairi Sane. Remember what I said about Toni Storm and her theme music from last year's Mae Young Classic being used? Well, WWE, I don't know if it was them completely fucking up or them not having queued up the right theme music, but they did the same thing with Kairi Sane, man. They used Kairi Sane's Mae Young Classic theme for her theme song here. And this was actually a good mistake that WWE made, because I enjoy both Tony's and Kairi's old themes compared to their new ones. That's just me, and I'm sure you guys think the same way, but attention to detail. I know I wasn't going crazy. I even tweeted out, is WWE using Kairi Sane's old theme, or am I going fucking crazy here? But it was actually a good mistake, because I enjoy those two themes better than the current themes that both women have now. I love this match, man. I love this match. Shayna is so fucking good at what she does, man, because she is portrayed the right way. Shayna is a bitch, and Shayna knows how to play a fucking bitch. I love Shayna so much, man. So, Kairi had Shayna in the anchor, right? That's her submission finisher. That's broken up. Sane, trying to keep control, nails a spear out of the corner. So Sane yells out to the crowd. Sane then stomps around and walks the plank as Baszler recovers, right? She does that walking the plank type shit with that flying elbow in the corner. So Sane with a big shoulder thrust in the corner, or the elbow, and Sane with a neck breaker. It was a float over neck breaker, which looked beautiful. 2 count. More back and forth. Sane goes to the top of Baszler, cuts her off, and I love this. Is probably one of my favorite parts of the entire night, man. Baszler gets up to the top rope and hangs Kairi Sane by her arm, literally pulling this woman's arm out of her socket as she's standing on the turnbuckle, and Kairi Sane, small little Kairi Sane, dangling off the apron, man. Beautiful fucking stuff here. Kairi screaming in pain. Baszler then drops Sane to the floor as if she's fucking nothing as she dumped her overboard. It was fucking gorgeous. It was beautiful. So Baszler looks down at Kairi Sane and continues to mock her. So Sane counters a move and nails a big DDT in the middle of the ring. Sane goes to the top for the insane elbow, but Baszler rolls out of the way and rolls to the floor. Sane is still up top. So Sane, looking in the ring, Shayna's to the outside. She turns around and she jumps off the top to the outside with a huge crossbody right in front of Michael Cole, man. Crowd was going fucking crazy. Crowd chanting NXT. Beautiful fucking stuff, man. Baszler then sidesteps and sends Kairi into the barrier. So Shayna hit, was connected with that crossbody block, and she pretty much no-sold it. So I didn't really like that. I mean, if you're coming off the top rope with a devastating crossbody to the fucking outside, at least sell it. Shayna did a complete 100% no-sell here. So she sends Kairi into the barrier, and then over into the, or Sane sends Baszler over the barrier into the front row, and coincidentally in the front row sat Marina Shafir and Jessamine Duke. So at that point, I knew someone was getting involved here. So Sane then tries to bring Baszler back, and Duke grabs Kairi Sane's hair. Sane dropped her with a huge fucking back fist. Duke lands on the other side of the barrier at ringside. So Sane goes to the top, but Shafir, Roderick Strong's wife, Marina Shafir, interferes from the apron. Sane grabs Shafir and drops her off the apron with a back fist. So Kairi had her back turned a little bit too long. I'm fucking thinking to myself, Kairi, turn around. She doesn't. Baszler takes advantage and drops Sane with the Kirifuda clutch. Sane turns it into a pinfall. The same pinfall that she won the title from Shayna Baszler with. She kicked out this time. Shayna kicked out. She knew what was going on and she kicked out. So I love that they relived that same instance, and Shayna this time knew what to do. So Duke then gets involved from the apron again, and the referee misses it. Baszler then takes advantage of this distraction with another Kirifuda clutch. Sane faded. Referee calls for the bell. Kairi Sane passes out. She does not submit. And Baszler wins the NXT title for a second time. In my honest opinion, this was the best match of the entire night. I love the interactions between Kairi and Shayna, and I love the fact that the four horsewomen got involved, or two of the four horsewomen here, Baszler being in the match and Ronda obviously getting ready for the main event. I love that Marina and Jessamine got involved here because it keeps the feud going. You know that WWE doesn't have anybody else lined up for the NXT Women's Championship for TakeOver War Games. WWE did this outcome tonight because of the fact that we're getting another rematch. And WWE played into the fact that, listen, Kairi lost tonight because of outside interference when they were just paying members of the audience. They should have not got involved. Yes, they're WWE, Performance Center students and trainees, but they should have not jumped the barricade. They were not supposed to be a part of the show. So I'm sure WWE is going to play into that fact when we get the match booked again at War Games. And I did say that Kairi was going to win this match, and then Shayna was going to be called up. It looks like they're actually prolonging that for a little bit. Shayna gets another title run out of it. She gets to be two-time NXT champion. She deserves it. She absolutely deserves it. She's the best at what she's doing right now in all of NXT. No question. But yes, she will be a transitional champion for Kairi Sane. Kairi Sane's going to beat Shayna Baszler at TakeOver War Games, and she's going to be herself a two-time NXT Women's Champion, and we're going to get the rematch. And then from there, Shayna's going to get called up after the Survivor Series. That is my prediction. My prediction still stands that Shayna Baszler is going to the main roster after Survivor Series weekend. So this was a great match. Played into the storyline to get us to the next match. And everybody's a winner. Kairi looks strong. Kairi lost because of outside interference from people who should have not been involved. And Shayna is a two-time NXT Women's Champion. Good shit. I loved it. I thought this was played off beautifully for the NXT Women's Championship. Last woman standing match, Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch. Can I just say that WWE is absolutely fucking foolish. Foolish. They played video packages of Becky Lynch and Charlotte reliving and rehyping all the past that led us to this match tonight. And the segment in which Becky cut with Edge on the cutting edge on SmackDown 1000, Becky was cheered for her comments when she made comments about Edge's neck. We all know people love Becky. We all know Becky's been universally cheered and universally chosen over Charlotte. This is no secret. Becky is not a heel. Let me repeat that for the fucking goons out there who don't want to listen to me and want to refute everything I say. Becky is not a heel. Okay? WWE wants you to think Becky's heel, but she's not. If WWE has to resort, like they did tonight, to take cheers away from Becky by adding in and piping in boos over cheers that we heard on SmackDown 1000, over video packages to hype this match, then she's not a heel. If WWE is intentionally, like they did tonight, lowering the volume, because when Becky came out, she was just greeted with massive cheer. You heard that volume come down audibly tonight. Then she's not a heel. If people are chanting along and singing along to Becky's theme song like they did Nakamura when he was a babyface, Becky is not a heel. I'm sorry. Let me repeat this again in slow motion. Becky is not a heel. Becky is a babyface. If WWE needs to go to these lengths to try and refute that, then she's not a heel. Okay? Are we clear? Good. Now, WWE looked foolish by piping in boos, pretending Becky's a heel, and then she comes out with people singing her theme song. Humming along to the theme song, singing along jovially to the theme song. How stupid did that make them look? How foolish did WWE look? Having that video package air and then Becky comes out, receiving the biggest pop of the night, bigger than Ronda. Foolish. But Road Dogg wants to go on social media. Oh, we just want you to cheer for whoever you want. Meanwhile, WWE is trying to forcefully manipulate you into cheering for Becky or cheering for Charlotte over Becky Lynch. They're telling you to boo Becky Lynch. Using words like heinous, disgusting, vile with Becky Lynch. Really now? Really now? Now, I know a lot of people are going to probably argue with me in the comments. Oh, well, this was the best match of the show. How could you say this was better? Or how can you say that Shayna and Kyrie was better than Charlotte and Becky? That's just my personal preference. I enjoyed the one-on-one with Shayna and Kyrie more. Seriously. You know? I am going to say something here that many people probably won't agree with. Okay? I honestly think that Charlotte and Becky, and I understand this is a last woman standing match. I understand. Okay? But, did Asuka and Nikki Cross need this type of bells and whistles for their last woman standing match? Or did they just go out there and tear the fucking house down and beat the shit out of each other? It's like WWE. I understand that a last woman standing match, you know, and what they did here kind of fits into the narrative. I really do, using chairs and kendo sticks and tables and ladders and having that big spot, right? I understand all that. But don't you think, thinking back to Nikki Cross and Asuka on NXT TV last year, don't you think that last woman standing match was booked a little bit better than this? When you look back at that, and then you look at what you've seen tonight, don't you think that WWE kind of overdid it a little bit? Don't you think that WWE tried to force something with this last woman standing match like that? I don't know, like they tried too hard almost with Becky and Charlotte? When we all know that Becky and Charlotte could out-wrestle on any given night anyone on their show. They could have a great wrestling match, and that's what I would have been okay with. You know, a chair here, a kendo stick there, a table there. They didn't need all the fucking chairs in the middle of the ring tonight, like it was fucking Terry Funk, you know, shopping at Home Depot. Thought I was watching a Terry Funk Mick Foley match with fucking chairs being thrown all over the fucking place. Ladders being included in the match, kendo sticks, announce tables being broken on the outside. I'm not saying that it was a bad match. This match was fucking great. I'm just saying that I think WWE tried a little bit too hard when they really didn't need to. Some of that was okay. I honestly think that WWE went a little bit overboard with what they did with Charlotte and Becky tonight. But the last woman standing match rules and stipulations, you know, fits into that category. So what am I going to do? Or what are we going to do? Just going to watch and see what happens. They worked their fucking ass to the bone. I am proud of both women. I really am. Charlotte took a fucking beating in this match. Becky delivered a beating. Becky looked great. Charlotte looked great. The story to this match was fucking fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. It showed Becky would do anything. Friendship out the window, and she stayed stone cold. She didn't give a fuck about her friendship. She didn't give in to possibly saying, oh my God, what am I doing to my best friend? She stayed the course. She did exactly what anyone in her shoes would do. She stayed true to the character that WWE is trying to portray with Becky. She would do anything to keep the title around her waist by doing what she did tonight. Charlotte, on the other hand, cringe, yes, but showed you the heart of a champion and the fact that she would not give up. Now, I don't really sit here and brag about how great Charlotte is. I don't think, she's all that great, period. I honestly think Charlotte is slightly overrated. And the fact that Charlotte was in a situation on more than a handful of times tonight where she was not on her feet and Mike Chioda, the referee, did not administer a 10 count. That kind of pissed me off. There was one instance at the end of this match where Charlotte was buried under debris. Okay? Becky put her through a table. Becky jumped off a ladder with a leg drop through the I think it was the German announce table. Through the German announce table. She put Becky put Charlotte through the table and then covered her in chairs and table debris. And Charlotte rose from the rubble. I thought I was watching fucking a remake of Terminator. Like, you ever see the ending of Terminator 2 where Arnold Schwarzenegger is being dipped into the fucking lava and his thumb is in the air as he's fucking just being dipped and all you see is what he sees and the red light starts blinking and it goes black? I thought I was watching fucking Terminator. Charlotte raises her hand through the fucking rubble as she sees fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger. Super Charlotte tonight. And she wasn't even on her feet. Honestly. And she was laying there underneath the rubble, and Mike Chioda's like looking back and forth. What should I do? What should I do? It's like he went dumb for about 10 fucking seconds. I don't know if you're asking myself, what the fuck's this guy do? Fucking count! Becky's on the apron. She got done covering Charlotte in the rubble, and Charlotte's underneath the fucking rubble. He's just standing there not counting. We missed at least 5 good seconds. And that was not the only instance in this fucking match. What the fuck is going on here? So shit like that. But not taking away anything from what Charlotte did tonight. She did a great performance. She had a great performance with Becky. Now, like I said, there was a lot of bells and whistles in this match. Lots of bells and whistles. Becky took a kendo stick and started to lash Charlotte with the kendo stick, man. And you heard it. You seen it on Charlotte's expression. You seen the fucking welts on her back and on her shoulder, man. Fucking brutal. I loved every minute of it, man. There was an instance where a ladder got involved, where Charlotte was body slammed by Becky on the ladder, her lower back on the edge of the ladder. Oh, fucking brutal stuff, man. There was an instance where Charlotte went back first into just a huge pile of steel chairs. You know, there were steel chair shots to the back of Charlotte. She took a fucking beating in this match, man. She really did. So, after, towards the end of this thing, I'm like, holy shit. Charlotte came back and back and back, and she just withstood everything that Becky took, or that Becky gave her. She took everything that Becky gave her, and I'm like, oh my God, Charlotte's going to win this fucking match. It's going to be fucking Super Charlotte again. They're booking Charlotte like fucking Roman Reigns over here. So Becky goes to the floor. Flair follows, and Becky sends her into the steel steps, okay? So Becky sends Flair into the steel ring post, face first. Referee starts to count. Becky grabs her title, starts walking away. She goes into the fucking crowd, right? So they're fighting in the crowd. Huge brawl in the crowd. People going crazy. Knife-edge chops and all this shit. I don't like seeing that. Like, why is Becky running away with the championship? That's a chicken shit heel move, and we know Becky's character has not portrayed anything of a chicken shit heel. This is what I complained about at the Greatest Royal, not the Greatest Royal Rumble, at the Super Showdown. Why is Becky running away with the title? It's fucking ridiculous. Why is Becky using the title to cheat? I don't understand this. Becky is tough. Becky is going to do whatever it takes to keep the title and fight you to the death. That's the title that Becky's portraying. She's not running. Why is she running away like a coward? Why is she running into the crowd? So, they're in the crowd. Flair runs after her. Big knife-edge chops by Flair. Fighting in the production area. So, Flair brings Becky back over the barrier to ringside again. Flair takes apart the German announce table. Flair slams Becky's face into another announce table right in front of Michael Cole. Flair then brings the ladder from underneath the ring. Another ladder. So, there's 2 ladders in the ring. or 2 ladders in the match, 1 in the ring and 1 outside. So Flair stands the ladder up and climbs, but Becky nails her with the title. So Becky talks some trash and slams Flair's face into the announce table. Becky positions Flair on the German announce table, jumps off the ladder, and delivers a leg drop through the table. So if WWE wants Becky to be booed, moves like that are not going to get Becky booed. People love that type of shit, as Charlotte was the heel in this match all night. So when Becky jumps off the ladder and puts Charlotte through a table with a fucking leg drop off the ladder, there's no choice but the fans to cheer Becky because they love that shit. So they're both down. Referee starts counting. Flair screams and says to Becky, "Is that all you got?" So Becky attacks her and unloads with strikes. Becky stacks a bunch of announcer chairs and table debris on top of Charlotte. She makes it to a 9 count, stands up. Becky backs away as if she's seen a fucking ghost. She's like, I don't know what I have to do with this. So Flair grabs a kendo stick and starts hitting Becky with it. Flair with a spear to Becky on the floor. Referee counts, but Flair drags Becky over to the entranceway, or the beginning of the ramp. And she sets up a table. So she sets Becky up on top of the table, and she goes for a moonsault, or what I'm assuming was a moonsault. Now, she tried this spot earlier in the match. She set Becky up on a table in the ring, and she tried a moonsault. The moonsault failed, and she connected with the moonsault, but it didn't break the table, and both women slid off the table, and the table fell on its side. It looked miserable. At this point, I was like, Becky, and Charlotte just had a terrible spot. Charlotte needs to completely take the moonsault out of her repertoire of moves, because it looks fucking terrible, and stop doing it. It never does anything good when she does it. So they actually did the spot over again, and Charlotte, knowing that the moonsault failed, set Becky back up on the table in the ring and did a swanton bomb off the top rope instead. Which I commend them for fixing the spot, but the first spot should have been all you needed. You didn't need to have to go back and fix the first one. It's the same mistake with the moonsault. Stop it. It doesn't look good. So Charlotte was going for another moonsault on the outside, which would have been fucking even worse. Probably would have overshot the fucking thing like she usually does. But Becky gets off the table, jumps to the apron, grabs Charlotte in between her legs, and power bombs her through the table on the outside. Devastating. And Flair tries to make it to her feet, and she could not stand. She only made 1 foot, and she stumbles over. Referee counts to 10. And Becky Lynch wins the match and retains the SmackDown Live Women's Championship. This has to be it. This has to be it for both. Becky, the right woman, won here. I don't give a fuck if you're a Charlotte fan. I don't. Becky was the right winner. If Becky lost this match, you've ruined every ounce of effort you put into building Becky Lynch's character. Becky cannot lose. Charlotte, being a 9-time women's champion, is just ridiculous if she would have won this match. You would have sabotaged everything that Becky worked up for till this point. Okay? Becky is not worth a transitional championship run. Becky should not have Charlotte be the only one she defends the title against. I am over and done with this feud, and I hope this is the last match that blows off the feud. I really do. We need to see something fresh now on SmackDown Live. And I mean Asuka versus Becky. That's what we need to see. I'm over this Charlotte shit. Charlotte needs to take a backseat. There's no way that Charlotte needs to be in any more title matches. Save her for the beginning of the year. Have her win the Royal Rumble and then start building Charlotte versus Ronda Rousey. I'm done with this shit. Becky succeeded. Becky said, I'm better than you, Charlotte. I'm going to beat you. This is all you need. This is the fucking cherry on top of the cake. Done. Now, I'm going to put negative energy in the air because that's what I do. I would not be shocked if WWE goes into TLC and books this match again in a tables, ladders, and chairs match. They want to brag about historic and first time ever? There you go. Has there ever been a one-on-one match in a TLC match for the Women's Championship? I don't think so. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I think that's where WWE's going to go with this. They got another month till TLC. I think it's the second or third week in December. I have a strange feeling that WWE is going to book Charlotte versus Becky in a tables, ladders, and chairs match at TLC. And we don't need to see it. We don't need to see it at all. This feud is over. Becky won, the right woman won, and for that, I give WWE a round of applause. I didn't think they were going to do it. I thought Charlotte was going to be a 9-time champion. I thought Becky would have been over and done with, and I thought they would have continued this feud going on into the next pay-per-view. But with Charlotte losing, she gets no more title shots. She's done. She deserves no more. There's no opening for another title shot. That's it. That's it. Becky might have gotten away with some sly tactics in the last couple of matches. This was it. It's over. You are not going to put on that type of match and have another one to follow that. Done. Becky Lynch wins. She retains the SmackDown Live Women's Championship. Nikki Bella versus Ronda Rousey. A, I feel sorry that they had to follow that match. B, I don't know who the fuck was excited about this main event. And C, I tweeted out moments before this match actually happened that this match should be 60 seconds, tops. Simple as that. I did not care for this match. This was a terrible main event. I don't give a fuck what positivity came out of this. This match made no sense. The build was awful. And for a historic main event, I'm looking at this as the headliner. Not so historic to me, if you ask me, man. I'm going to say something right now that I wish more people would utter on social media. I really do. Okay? Ronda Rousey, number one. I'm going to say this and we're going to end it right here because I want to go fucking play Call of Duty. Ronda Rousey as the Raw Women's Champion. Okay? Ronda Rousey has nothing to do with the Women's Evolution. She's nothing but a fucking puppet. WWE used Sasha and Bayley and used what they built to get to Ronda, and that match by default is making Ronda look like the superstar. Meanwhile, they get nothing. Ronda sits at the head of the table, and Sasha and Bayley get nothing. Meanwhile, they should be in the main event, and Ronda is in the main event simply because of her fucking name and her status in female sports. That's all she is. Ronda is a puppet, and WWE is the puppet master. Simple as that. WWE is using Ronda to facilitate Fox Sports deals and NBC Universal deals, and they're using Ronda to net them all this types of money everywhere else in international markets. Good. Your business proposition, your business deal with Ronda paid off. Do I agree with it? No. In terms of business, I do. Yes. But in exchange, WWE is ruining an entire revolution and division with Ronda at the head of it. Ronda has nothing to do with the evolution of women's wrestling. Nothing. She walked in the back door and was like, "Hey, yo, bitches, I'm here. Hand me a fucking cold one." That's exactly what happened. Meanwhile, Sasha and Bayley are the ones throwing the fucking party, and Ronda's kicking them out. Ronda is very similar to Brock Lesnar. Not in a way in which she doesn't wrestle, because she does. Ronda is similar to Brock Lesnar because she is holding the Raw Women's Championship hostage. You do know that Ronda, as the Raw Women's Champion, is not allowing others to fight for anything on that show. Like, what do the other women have to fight for? Who is going to beat Ronda Rousey? Especially before WrestleMania. WWE is holding the title on Ronda to get it to Charlotte. Simple as that. So you're sabotaging an entire division on Raw, and you're withholding the main thing for the women to fight over while they get nothing and Ronda has everything. This is my mentality with it. So what good is it doing your division? You're not benefiting at all from that. And nobody is benefiting from that. Everybody's going to go through the ringer, rinse and repeat every single fucking time while Ronda is sabotaging the division. Ronda is not making the women's division better. She's not. And here's the kicker. Matches like this, matches like the last one we seen with Alexa Bliss, this was the kicker. This was the cherry on top of the cake for me. Ronda's mystique, Ronda's aura, Ronda's special feel has gone right out the fucking window. You might as well fucking throw it in the dumpster and light it on fire. Ronda is dead to me. Dead. I don't care what she does from here on out. I don't care what she does with the title. I don't care where she's positioned on Monday Night Raw or in the WWE as far as this division goes. Ronda is dead to me. Everything about Ronda is not special anymore. Because when you put Ronda in a fucking match with Nikki fucking Bella and you have her sell for 10 fucking minutes, how am I supposed to believe Ronda is special anymore? Oh, but JD, Brie Bella was on the outside and the only time Nikki got offense was when Brie interfered. Bullshit. Bullshit. Ronda is an MMA fighter who has skills that are far superior than anybody else on that roster. If she can't fight off two measly Bella twins when WWE positions her on Monday Night Raw to take out entire security forces, give me a fucking break. Ronda's special feel is dead. I don't want to hear anything about Ronda feeling special anymore. Now she's an underdog babyface trying to mount a comeback. Her matches should be lasting 2-3 minutes, tops. That's including the introductions. This title reign is dead to me. This match was god-awful. How you can sit there and willingly pay whatever. Don't give a fuck if you paid $6 or $600 to sit in those fucking seats. How you can sit there and justify Nikki Bella and Ronda Rousey being a main event on this fucking night, being historic, is downright fucking laughable. Laughable. What you seen with Charlotte and Becky, that was the main event. They blew this match out of the water. How you could justify watching that and not putting that on in the main event is, again, laughable. Ronda's your main star attraction on this brand. Start treating her like one. As far as I'm concerned, Ronda Rousey is just as good as Dana Brooke. She's humanized. She's just like everybody else. And if you don't see that, I feel sorry for you. There's nothing special about Ronda anymore, and WWE has ruined every aspect of her appeal. Ronda retains the Raw Women's Championship in a lousy, miserable, pathetic main event on a pay-per-view that was supposed to be historic. After Ronda walks up the ramp, Nikki's crying. All the roster that was on the show tonight, all the women on the WWE's roster, all the locker room come out, and they all embrace, greeting Rousey at the exit as the show goes off the air. Vomit-inducing. Evolution. Good matches. Had its high points, had its fucking low points. Is this a pay-per-view that you're going to talk about for years to come? Fuck no. This is the one and only time that you're going to watch this show. You watch it live, you're never going to watch it again. You're going to hear this shit over and over and over again on Raw and SmackDown this week. If WWE wants to do this again, maybe don't position it with a fucking Saudi Arabian show 5 days later. Maybe next time they'll learn their fucking lesson. This show could have been fucking great with a better card and actual storylines going into this fucking thing, instead of WWE's typical laziness. This is why I get pissed off. It was a lazy effort that did not even live up to the word historic or epic. Get better next time. I know that when I do something, I want to do the best I very can. WWE doesn't take that mentality into mind. Maybe next year they'll do better. I doubt it. I can only hope. But this show offered nothing outside of a couple of great NXT matches and a great Charlotte-Becky match with all the bells and whistles of a last woman standing match. Other than that, you didn't miss anything. Maybe next year they'll do a lot better and we'll get an actual fucking pay-per-view. Other than that, I'm getting out of here, man. We may make history tonight as we hit 100,000. That's what I'm looking forward to. Hope you guys enjoy this video, man. If you did, hit that thumbs up. And I'll see you guys tomorrow with more content right here on the channel. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206. Hit that subscribe button down below and turn on that bell and turn on all notifications, man. I'm getting out of here. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great night. And I'll see you all for Monday Night Raw.